everybody. My name is Amol Patel. I'm in Los Angeles. You're watching the Smoking Hot Coffee Show, where we cover internet startups, monetization, marketing, and design. I'm joined with...
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Pelton and I'm down here in San Diego. It is March, Wednesday, the 27th.
Yeah, and so this is Cup 36. Jeff, I've set
Yep.
the timer. 3 minutes. Let's go.
36, good number.
All right, so the news, right, Jeff? The
Sure.
news.
Yeah, let's kick it off.
So, Jeff, what do we cover? The global internet slows down after the biggest attack? That's huge. And then, of course, further down, we've got some really cool news, the Gmail spying powers. What do you want to
Yeah,
cover?
let's jump into that. That fits into our Hackers Paradise segment pretty
Here we
well.
go. Let's bring up the Hackers Paradise graphic. There it is. Yay, Hackers Paradise. Awesome. All right, so there's the
Cool
Big
graphic.
Brother icon right there. Let's talk about Big Brother here. FBI pursuing real-time Gmail spying powers? What the fuck? Isn't it's
Real time.
it's not that
Does
they
that imply
have
they already have slow time?
exactly they already have slow
Yeah,
time, but now they want real time spying powers. What, dude?
right.
I use Gmail for everything. This
Specifically
is
Gmail too, right? Or they also say Google Voice and Dropbox.
yeah, that's right.
Um,
Wow, this is some scary
Singling
shit,
people
bro.
out. It's interesting. So let me quickly say the one thing I think is interesting. Everyone should remember the was it Petraeus, our general at the top of
That's
the
right.
the U.S.
Yeah,
Got in trouble
he
not too long
he
ago,
did
right?
get in trouble. That's so
For
good that you brought that in. Yep, that's right.
do you
Petraeus
remember what he got in trouble for?
is so he just basically made a big apology yesterday here right here at
Okay.
USC. Did you? I don't know if you heard about that. He was
Yeah, I
not too
saw
far from
headlining.
here. The previous director of the CIA apologized to everybody because the FBI apparently found out that these emails, menacing emails that his wife or somebody connected to his family was getting from some woman that was doing a biography on him, and he was like boning her. Like what the hell is
Yeah.
going on? That's
So
a weird triangle here.
I haven't followed that story at all, but it's obviously really kind of at the top of the nation. And the interesting tie-in with technology here is reportedly the way that he was communicating with this woman,
Yeah.
sort of a spot espionage type secret relationship message drop-off situation. The way that they secretly kept communication online was Gmail,
Yeah.
and not just Gmail, but they left messages in the draft folder of a shared account.
Yes. Yes.
So let
Draft
that
folder.
sink in for a second. So that'd be like you and I saying, we're going to share a smoking hot coffee account, Gmail account, and then we're never going to send an
Right.
email
You
to
never
each
send
other.
it, but you just
We're
leave it
just
in
going to go
draft.
and leave
Yeah.
it in the draft. You hit save draft and it, keeps it there. And so
That's very
anyways,
clever. I thought it was a very
so
clever
to
way of
me,
doing
so
it.
when I read this article that you have in front of us about them wanting to get real time
Yeah. Yeah.
tapping, it seems like that's probably the red flag going off. Like,
Yeah.
oh boy, we
Yeah.
don't have every little nook and cranny of the service under surveillance yet.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's very crazy. I'm gonna restart this timer again. I'm gonna go back to the same thing. I don't really have a problem with authorities that we trust and have good oversight looking into protecting us. But my biggest question, Jeff, is who the fuck is watching the FBI?
Is the
Who
oversight? Yeah,
who the fuck is
there is
watching
none.
the watchers? Who is watching them? Who is watching them?
I think the judges, right?
The
Um,
judges. Okay, well, who's watching the
maybe.
judges? I don't know. Ultimately, I'm just worried about who's watching the watchers. This is some scary shit to me. I don't. This is a complex problem. It's a very complex problem. We do need to be protected from the evils of the world. I'm just curious as to who's watching our protectors in the police departments here, at least in Los Angeles or in the U.S. There's this internal investigations, and apparently they watch the police. But there's been many. At least there's a the L.A. Police department has been notorious for abusing their power, and so it's just scary. This is some scary shit. Let's hope the American Bar Association and the civil liberties and all these other guys get also a lot of power and keep this in front of our normal consumers. Either way,
Yeah, I don't think people are going to be quiet about this. This is going to keep coming up. I subscribe to the EFF, and they're usually kind of very vocal about this stuff. And so we'll see what people have to say, and we'll continue to cover it on the show.
and so this brings us back to our Hackers Paradise graphic.
Man, when we started this segment, I didn't really I don't think understand how consistent of a segment this would be.
Yeah, no, this is a for real thing. It seems like every week or every day there's some new break-in, some new large service that's gotten hacked and passwords released and credit cards on file, all that bullshit. Now the
Yeah, I mean,
FBI.
honestly, I didn't read the top story on Tech Meme, but right before the show, I popped it open. It says global internet slows after biggest attack in history.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I didn't feel it, but certainly I think there's going to be a lot of this more and more in the news as they're trying to control and regulate the internet.
Yeah, yeah. This is some very interesting stuff, especially as our more of our lives become digital and we do more of our communication, interpersonal communications, and business, commerce, friends, family, all that. It's all turning digital.
It's a
This is going to be
double-edged sword, huh?
yeah, this is a double-edged sword. So yeah. Anyway, so that's our Hackers Paradise for today. All right, so let's get into our startups. So
Yeah.
first up is let's see, Zaption.
Looks like you added this one yesterday.
I did. This is a local startup. They're out of UCLA. And the founders are, and I think they're out of UCLA. Or they're somehow connected to UCLA because I got the UCLA startup email, blah blah blah, yada yada. And I was checking it out, and it's a very cool idea. Let's take a look at them. Zaption.com.
Oh,
Zaption.
okay.
So
Play on the word caption.
Zaption, yeah, Zaption making video interactive. So they've got a large banner here, and they've got a UI I'm looking at here with clip library, and I can like drag and drop things and add title. Looks like there's a timeline here. So apparently they want to create some interactive points within video, and I'm a huge fan of interactivity, and I fundamentally believe that in many ways YouTube has stunted interactivity within video, because now that YouTube is basically the de facto standard for video,
Hmm.
and so everybody uses them. They do have captions and they do have annotations, but I just don't think many people have really used video in a very interactive way. And
So I'm curious what these guys do above and beyond YouTube. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I was actually just beginning to start annotating our YouTube podcast
yeah,
with notes because we are showing websites that have external links, and everything we do is inherently interactive.
hmm
On this show, it ties into our website and the
right,
websites we're covering.
right,
The news stories we're covering, I'm going to put little links to them.
yeah.
It's just a matter of time and effort and whether there's a payoff, whether the audience appreciates it enough.
Right.
What does Zaption do
Well,
in
well,
regards to what we currently know as YouTube annotations? Is
okay.
what my point of reference.
So you bring up a very good point. How do you plan? What are some of the ideas that you can implement in terms of interactivity within video? And so they have that right here in the third little graphic. They've got add elements. So what exactly are these elements? Add response elements throughout your tour or video, including multiple choice questions. So this is where you can throw in some questions if you're asking people as the videos go on. You can throw in some polling questions, continuous polling, discussions, and more within the actual video panel, which I think is very cool. The idea of creating interactivity within the video so that you can roll over elements as the video is happening, and you can click on things so that, let's say if a person's talking and then there's a gorilla walking in the background, you can roll over and maybe click on the gorilla, and oh hey, gorillas live in the wild in Africa, blah blah blah, yada yada. So obviously it depends on the context and all of that. There's a lot of room here for growth. I don't think this interactivity within video has been explored enough. There were some early experiments with Flash, where as you're watching the show, you can hover over, the episode of Friends, let's say, and we've got this, we've got this actor, and she's wearing these pants, and oh hey, I want to see how I can get these pants, and a little panel shows up. Oh, you can get it from Macy's, and get the look. I remember
Right.
doing a
We've been
project.
talking about this for a long time, but the execution or some part of it never seems to come to fruition, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think the ideas and the creativity can happen. I just don't think the toolkits are there, and I don't think the toolkits are available at scale. Since YouTube basically is the at scale provider now,
Hmm.
yeah, I think if they provided these toolkits, I think it could really foster a whole new, creative outlet for ways of making video interactive. I'd love to see more of that. I'm not seeing a lot of it, and hopefully these guys have found one very clear use case, and that they're using this for teachers. This is really
Oh,
designed,
okay.
from what I remember,
The
for
polling and the quizzing and the stuff during the video makes sense.
yeah.
I mean, let me throw out a couple of other parallels, like QVC. I mean, are there old broadcast things like where there's really interactivity during the show?
Yeah, that's a
Um,
very good point.
or,
Absolutely, yeah,
or even our show, right? We have this
yeah,
timer that you're running, and we're talking about integrating it with the show.
right.
Problem is, there's pre-production versus post-production. The interactivity obviously has to be during, like pre or during the production. With the quizzing and stuff, I could potentially see it happening over and over and over again in real time as you're watching it, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
as I'm watching it, the poll occurs and I see what everyone before me had polled, and then I add mine.
Right.
That could be interesting, but
It,
that's really only one small use case.
exactly.
Um,
That's a very small use case. It could be very rich, but it's just one small, very use case. I think.
yeah, I mean, but maybe that's enough if they can
Yeah,
hone in on that for
yeah, yeah.
teachers. That could be, a game changer for them.
I absolutely. I know that Google in the past have used. I think that one educational platform. I think Audacity or Udacity, where you
Hmm.
watch a video and then within the video they had like these little. Select a choice kind of thing, but the way it was done was very kind of clunky. It worked, but I felt it was, I think it could have been handled better. And so I think these guys are trying to do that. It looks like they're building on Node, and Mongo, and Knockout. So it's a really kind
Awesome.
of modern stack. This will probably make
Love
Jeff
it.
very happy. Jeff, this
Yeah,
makes
those
you very
are all my
happy.
favorite words.
There you go. Those are favorite words.
Yeah.
Looks like they're looking for some JavaScript guys in San Fran. So if you're watching, check them out. All right, guys. I think this is enough for now. Let me go ahead and rate them. I give them a 4 for design. I really like this. Beautifully designed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like the homepage, the way
Yeah.
that they were able
Yeah.
to lay out. Putting screenshots is always very delicate matter. You can really blow it pretty easily.
Yeah, so I give them a 3 for survival and marketing. They've, from what I've gathered, they want to their first vertical they want to go after is teachers, and it's a very large vertical on the internet. Video is definitely used to train and to teach people online, and so if they can really tackle that, they can really get a couple of large, these educational online services using their platform, perhaps, or maybe they can carve out a niche for themselves. I can see them surviving. And I think they are funded, so that helps a lot. So,
Yeah, so I got to go give this a shot. It always comes down to the actual use case and tie-ins for me. I mean, is this something we could use for smoking hot coffee, or how difficult is it to get this integrated into your workflow? Is what it comes down to for me. But
yeah,
this really looks beautiful and it's worth a shot.
yeah, I don't know. I would have to try it. It doesn't look like they're ready. It looks like I have to request an invitation, so they're definitely very beta. All right, so let's move on. Let me set up our timer. Next up is Bookboard. Bookboard.com. All right, so we've got wow, a really lovely design site here. Although their navigation is a little off for some weird reason. Um, Bookboard. Tap into story time with endless books, learning, and fun. Get started free. Watch demo, and there's a looks like a mother type figure with her daughter, and looks like they've got a tablet, and they're both looking at each other laughing. And underneath that, I've got a sort of an animated slideshow or tour of their UI. Looks like we've got some large children's books. And oh, this is very cool. Okay, so the children books on the iPad or the tablets have been very popular. It totally works. And so I'm not sure what are they doing on top of this. Tap into story time with endless books. So is this a platform for children's book publishers? Are they? What are they? What is it?
I think they're aggregating or creating an environment to encourage reading books and encouraging the children to even read the books. And they're all digital, I'm imagining.
Okay, so I don't know how they encourage children to read the books. I can see how they're aggregating. I don't know how would they are they
Well, it's
adding more?
goal oriented. It says Blackboard gives parents insights into their children's reading
Oh,
progress
here
and
we go.
offers
Okay.
ways to help mom, dad, grandpa, reinforce good reading habits.
Oh, I see. Okay, now further
Healthy
down.
competition. So it combines elements of gaming and competition
Okay,
to
okay.
develop self-motivated
Yep.
drive to read and learn.
Okay,
So I think
that's
we've seen this
very,
like
very
back
cool.
before
Yeah, yeah,
tablets, right? Like
yeah,
when you and I were, in elementary school, there's like what summer reading lists. Like if
yeah.
you read 10 of the 20 books on the
Hmm.
list, you get a star or something. You get
Yep.
a free book out of it or
Right.
whatever it is.
Yep.
Um, I think
No,
this
I
is
think.
bringing that to the tablet.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
take make from this?
I think this is brilliant. Actually, now that I get it, basically they're adding gamification, kind of a global gamification elements on top of an existing, ebook library for children. Which is, I think, there's several thousand, if not several hundred, of these books out there that are really popular. I think, and if you can throw in some gamification stuff on top, I think this is awesome. This is a really great idea, Jeff. I have to say,
Yep.
this is a very clever idea. I could see these guys also promoting children's books and then going directly with the publishers and maybe getting a piece of their action. I don't exactly know how they make money, but this is very cool. Let me click on their pricing here.
Yeah, I was gonna have you do that. I like that they do have a pricing tab that lets me know that they're for real. That they're actually selling something is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. If it would come up, there it goes. Okay, here we go. They've got a monthly plan, $4.99 a month, 6 months, unlimited access to unlock 300 books. Oh, there we
So,
go.
so there's a whole,
Oh,
a deep
beautiful.
business model here. We're not,
Whoops.
the parents aren't stuck in this like,
Oh,
disaster of having to buy new books and all
this
this
is
stuff. This seems just
great.
like, so I'm not a parent. I
Yeah, yeah.
know you just got married, and so, this is something that you might be looking at eventually.
Oh,
These tools to help.
yes. Oh, we'll be looking at this.
You probably saw a lot of your cousins and
Yeah,
nieces and nephew type situations, and
yeah.
I think this is just a beautiful product for parents.
This is great. I thought they were adding this on top of an existing library that you'd have to pay for separately. But now that this is actually combined, so for $30 I get 6 months and 300 book access to a library, and then all this other gamification stuff on top with a portal
Hmm.
and goals and achievement. This is brilliant. This
Great
is
idea. So let
this
me
is
just pause, like
brilliant,
real quick.
Jeff.
So
This is
sometimes we
brilliant.
don't always come in these reviews. We don't always come in with a lot of like. We like having our having a first impression, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about your first impression of this product from the homepage? I know sometimes it takes us just a second, but would you do anything differently? Do you think you were kind of misled on what the
You,
offering was, or
honestly,
it's so unique that you just had to dig in a little bit?
for me, I would have loved to have seen the library. I noticed that the way they've designed this is beautifully designed. It's incredibly beautifully designed. I would have liked to have them to spell out, get access to 300 books, 300 plus books. Here are the publishers,
Right.
all you can eat kind of thing,
Yeah,
with
because
all these
that
features.
part wasn't real clear. Right?
That part wasn't really clear. I thought it was, and then it wasn't until
And
further
that's
on that
a really powerful part of the offering.
yeah, that's a really powerful part of the offer. I didn't realize that you got access to this huge library. That is real. This part is really compelling to me. And then on top of that, you add in the goals and achievements, and I think this is a brilliant, brilliant idea. I totally think this is a great idea. I'm looking forward to actually seeing more variations on this. Could you see something like this for maybe other types of verticals and books? Like maybe if you're a mystery novelist or a mystery lover and you want to have access to all the
Yeah.
mystery books, and now it's called Mystery Board, and you
Yeah,
sign.
and I think the idea is it might help you find the good mystery books, like build a community around that, right?
Although I have to say though, the goals and achievements to encourage reading that may not apply to adults possibly. So
Yeah.
maybe this would work better for kids. But I
Yeah, I
do,
think this is a really unique thing.
yeah. I mean, it might be this might be sliceable to other verticals within the iBook universe. Either way, I think it's a brilliant model. I love it. I love it a lot. Give it a 4 for design.
Yeah, you can see I
Finale.
gave it fours across
Yeah,
the
you know what?
board.
I'd have
Uh,
to say the same thing. Survival and marketing. I don't know if they're getting a lot of press. Um,
I
yeah.
feel like when the App Store is their channel for distribution. If they get this in people's hands, then I think they're gonna use it and stick with it,
Yeah,
and probably tell their friends who have kids.
yeah. The voice of the what do they call the direct parent to parent sort of
Mhm.
mommy blogging and the whole like word of mouth thing could really be huge. They just got to get this out to enough moms out there, and I could see this really taking
Yeah,
off. So
this reminds me of another great, a unique product we covered in one of our earlier shows called Archive that was kind of the same audience of people, moms with young children, and kind of an interesting way to solve a old traditional problem with new technology.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree.
Love it.
And they've got a monthly continuity program, which is like the best business model ever. I think
Yeah.
it's brilliant. This could move into different age groups, toddlers, or I don't know, as they grow up. Who knows? Wow. So all right, this is good. This covers our 2 stars for today. I think this ends the show for today, Jeff. If you have anything to add.
No, that's all I've got.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please tell your friends and family about the show. We encourage all your feedback. Please reach out to us, Jeff.
Yeah, show them the subscribe button in the top right of our website there. Make sure to go there and you can see we're in iTunes, BitTorrent, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr. Good old RSS that Google's trying to kill, and we put G plus all the way at the bottom for you.
There you go. All right, guys. Catch you next time.
See you tomorrow.